So we are in my new space. It is a work in progress. If you saw my moving vlog where I shared why we're here, what's going on in our lives, I will link that vlog up in the little eye up there and down below if you want to catch up with things. Not gonna go into all of that here, but I am in my new filming space and I'm so excited. I'm actually filming this on my vlog camera instead of like my big camera, because I think I like it better. I just feel like this captures the more like realistic light so much better. So let me know what you think, if you're noticing a difference between this quality and my like typical quality. Today, wow, that was a long intro. Today, we are gonna try a bunch of new drugstore makeup. These are all products I've been dying to try, including the new ColourPop quads that they launched that look oh so similar to my Charlotte Tilbury quad that I've like preached about for years that I love. In fact, we are gonna compare. Let me go grab it. So the quad in question is this one we'll talk about in a little bit. It's the Pillow Talk one, and we'll compare because I bought 2 of them. And yeah, I'm so excited. But the first thing we're gonna try is this Rose Glow face gloss from Revlon. I don't really know much about this except for it sounds like it may be somewhat of a dupe for a lot of the glowy primers I already use and love. So I've just been curious to try this. We're gonna have to deal with my little ear fly away. But it says it's 80% water, and so many of you guys have made jokes because there was another product from Revlon that I think had the same claim. And you guys were like, I feel like that's not something Revlon should advertise because you feel like you're just paying for water. Like, that's pretty funny. But it says it's a multi-use face gloss that instantly illuminates and hydrates, 80% water for a refreshing feel, wear alone or under for a smooth, luminous skin, or layer for an extra glow. And it says that this is a universal shade that's supposed to be able to complement every skin tone. So just kind of swatching it here, it's got this kind of pinky hue to it when you first scored it out. I really like this camera, you guys. What do you think? Maybe a slight smell, but it's very, very slight. It's not anything like I have to get right up on it, smell it, and it's kind of pleasant. So it's just something to be aware of. I already put on an SPF today. This, now that it's on my skin, I've let it kind of sink in for a minute or two. It felt cooling-ish, like a slight bit of cooling, very refreshing for the first like 30 seconds. Then that went away. It has a slightly tacky feeling. I feel like my skin looks slightly glowy, but definitely not overly glowy. Like, I'm a big fan of glow, but sometimes things can be too glowy. I feel like this would be good for someone if you're dipping your toes in the water of like more glowy skin. This might be the perfect kind of in-between where it has a little bit, but not too much. So we'll keep playing with this. I always do speed reviews every month or two where I kind of round up things I've been trying in videos like this, kind of first impressions, and share my more finalized thoughts on it. So stay tuned for that. This next thing, I'm so intrigued by how this will work. It's the Milani Peach Tinted Under Eye Brightener. Milani released like a couple of big lines. There was like their peach line, blueberry, avocado, and I think cherry. So it's supposed to be a tinted eye brightener, and they say that you can use it alone or underneath concealer. Because I was thinking, is it gonna be enough to cover what I wanna cover alone, or do you know what I mean? Or will it pair well with the concealer? So we're gonna find out, but it says it instantly illuminates your under eyes. It's got peach extract, hyaluronic acid, and caffeine, and it's got a peach tint, sheer correcting pigments, and it's supposed to reduce the appearance of dark circles. We're gonna see. So it's just a little squeezy tube. Swatching it here, it definitely has that peachy tone. It kind of reminds me of the shade of the Bobbi Brown corrector I love in Light Bisque, maybe a little peachier. So let's just try a little. I'm gonna try it on one eye. I'm just gonna get a little bit. I don't really know how much to do, you know? And do you like tap it in as though it's a concealer? Is it more like a moisturizer? Definitely seems to be helping. Like when you compare the one that has it with the one that doesn't, I mean, there's definitely a little bit of a difference. So if you were trying to do something quick, let me get my mirror here. Keep forgetting I like have a mirror I can look in. I feel like if you were doing something quick and you just wanted a little bit of help for your under eyes, this would do it. But if you have a lot to cover, I mean, you're not gonna wanna do this alone, but I mean, there is a slight difference. So that is kind of nice. I don't really have a product like this in my collection because it's either a full-on corrector, like you could wear it alone, like it conceals, like the Bobbi Brown one I mentioned, or it's a concealer. And so this is kind of this in between a moisturizer and a concealer where, again, if I'm just throwing on some SPF, but I'm like, ooh, my under eyes just look a little rough, which I feel like usually do. This I can just tap on really quickly and throw on an SPF and be kind of done. I can go run errands, whatever, and just feel like my skin looks a little bit healthier and my under eyes look a little bit healthier. I'm kind of impressed. I'm gonna be honest with you. This was one of those, I was intrigued because I thought there's no way it works. Do you know what I mean? And I really feel like it did make a slight difference. So I'm still gonna put some concealer on because I definitely wanna cover a little more, but I feel like this is gonna be one of those things that on those quick days I'm getting ready, I can see myself grabbing for a lot because it does what I need it to do, but I don't have to futz with making sure it's blended in perfectly or grabbing a brush or anything. I can just do it with my fingers and be good. All right, so I did a little bit more of my makeup before we do the next step. I threw on the Purito BB cream. I wear the shade 23. Love this, it's like 10 bucks. Use the Wet n Wild Incognito Concealer over that Milani eye corrector, and it went on like a dream. And I like this concealer a lot. I've been using this for a while, but I was curious how it would look over that, and it was just fine. So, and I do feel like my under eyes look even more perfected than normal, but I will say this, I don't think that this is a corrector enough to take the time to put this as a step 1, then a step 2 with the concealer on top. I think this really will be best used the way I said, just on its own for like a really quick eye pick-me-up in the mornings if you're not really wearing makeup. Let's just do these quads because I cannot wait to try them. So ColourPop released these quads very recently, and they have all different colorways, so you know, it runs the gamut for whatever you might be looking for. I of course love neutral, so that's the route I went. This one's called Cream Soda, and neutral girls heaven. I'm just like looking at this like, oh my gosh. It's got some shimmers, some mattes, oh my gosh. Let's try this other one. The other one I got was Sorbet, and this one is definitely more pinky toned. So there was one more I wanted, and I was like, Jessica, just get 2. Make sure you even like the formula before buying any more. But there was one more neutrally one that I almost got, and I'm starting to regret it because I wonder if that one would have been even closer to the Charlotte Tilbury one. But I feel like if you took this shade out of this and put it in here, like in the place of this one, you would get the Charlotte Tilbury quad. But listen, you could buy multiples of all of these and still not get to the price of that darn Charlotte Tilbury one. So, you know, let me look up the different ones they have of these because now I don't remember what it was. Maybe I will just buy it. I've been watching this cute family. Their channel is called Z-Roll, and I've been watching their Disney vlogs, and they are just so cute. They have a couple little boys. Anyway, I've loved watching them, and I love the way they edit them together, but they are like serious coffee people like Tyler and I are, and I'm like, oh, these are our people. Like literally watching them, like I like them already. I can tell. I will link their channel. I just think they're lovely. Anyone else, like when you're searching on your phone, you like start typing, you're like, what am I looking for again? While I'm looking for this, one thing, you know, ColourPop, I really do like their eyeshadows. They have an overwhelming amount of palettes. I feel like I say this every time I talk about it, but it's a lot. But what is nice is, you know, there's something for everyone. They have other quads too that aren't like in this clear packaging, but this was just their new line. Okay, so I'll put a picture on the screen, but Sparkler looks like a little bit deeper neutral. That one looks really pretty. Citrus Fizz was another one I thought about, but it's so similar to Cream Soda that I was like, I don't think it's worth it. And the other one that maybe is closer to the Charlotte Tilbury one is Creamsicle, but I think that kind of reddish color is too red compared to it. So anyway, but if I were to buy any more, it'd probably be Sparkler and Creamsicle. I think I'm gonna wait, but I don't even know if I like them, Jessica. Slow down, slow your roll and grab your coffee. I'm not getting anywhere in this video. Also, I love this mug, right? It's like a little travel mug. I bought this a long time ago, and the first time I bought it, literally we were on a road trip. This was like 2 years ago, and it rolled out of the car. We had stopped after driving for 5 minutes. Like we hadn't gotten anywhere on this road trip, and it rolled out of the car, fell, and shattered. And I'm like, brand new coffee mug 5 minutes into the trip. So we cleaned that up, and like a little while later, months later, I finally got a new one because I love it. It doesn't keep the coffee warm for a crazy amount of time, but honestly, if I'm taking it to go, I usually want to drink it in the next 45 minutes, so I don't mind. I think I'm just gonna kind of mix and match here. So comparing these two, the shimmers are very, very similar, and then the two mattes obviously are where it differs. Oh, and by the way, I used Benefit Gimme Brow and 4.5 in my brows. I think that was the only other thing I applied but didn't talk about just now. Okay, so first I'm gonna grab the kind of light shade and just kind of put it all over the, oh, it's a little oranger than I thought. It's not the worst thing. Just kind of lay it down as like a base all over. It does have a slight kind of, I don't want to say orange because it's not, but it definitely does pull that way. I thought it'd be maybe a little lighter, but it's still a really nice base for the whole area. And then I'm gonna grab this brown and just kind of put it in the crease there. Gosh, so fast. I'm using the e.l.f. fluffy eye brush that you guys, I talked about in my April favorites, and it's so good. It's so good. It's like one of the best just fluffy eye brushes ever. I use it every single day. That blended so fast. So let's try this shade here. I can see where there's probably gonna be a little fallout. Oh, it's so pretty though. I love that it's got this kind of pinky tone to it, you know? I wanna say bronzy, but it definitely comes across a little more pinky than bronzy. I'm gonna grab this color from the Sorbet one and just put it a little bit in the outer corner. These are blending so easily. I mean, I'm an amateur and I just feel like I am having zero issues blending anything. A++, no complaints. Let me see. There's a little bit of glitter fallout. Again, obviously that's an easy fix because you could just do your eyes first. I just never do. I can't, I've tried to get in the habit. I can't, you guys. I literally can't. I think it honestly springs from the fact that if I were to do any makeup on myself, if I had like 3 minutes and that's it, and I could just do a little bit of makeup, I would do something on my face. Like I would put on a BB cream. That is what I feel like I'm the most self-conscious about. I don't know why, but it just is. So I think that's why. So I'm like, well, if I run out of time, then at least I've got something on my face. I can't do it the other way. Comparing the Pillow Talk Quad here with the cream soda, I definitely feel like this is the closest dupe to the Pillow Talk Quad from Charlotte Tilbury. But honestly, the ColourPop shadow formula is so comfortable to use that I think it might be easier to use than the Charlotte Tilbury. The Charlotte Tilbury shadows, I love the look I always get with that quad, which is why I love it, but I don't think the shadows are like extraordinary, which is why I'm always trying to find dupes for it, because I don't think you have to spend the money. I did throw on some eyeliner. I used that Makeup by Mario brown eyeliner just a little bit and kind of flicked it out with the little brush on the one side. I've been using this like almost every single day. We're gonna try a new mascara. This one's from Revlon. I don't think I've heard anything about it from anyone. It's the So Fierce Big Bad Lash. I've tried a lot of mascaras lately and I found some incredible ones. So the bar is really high. My 2-year-old saw my necklace this morning and the first thing she said to me was, "Dino bones, you've got dino bones, mommy." I'm like, what? And then I look, I'm like, but why dino bones? Like of all the bones she could have talked about. That was so freaking funny to me. I'm like, she was right. They look exactly like dino bones. So it's got this wild and crazy big wand here. We're just gonna see. Ooh, it's wet. Whoa. It is already adding some volume, man. I need like a closer mirror. Who do I think that I am? Getting all over my like eye area, you know? It's definitely adding some nice volume, like fast too. Like that looks really nice. I've been using the Grande Brow Serum forever, and that's why my brows like actually exist, because they were so light and sparse before. But I started being more serious about using the lash serum as well each night, and I definitely have noticed like my lashes have never looked as good as they do. But the one thing I've noticed about those serums is that if you don't use them for like ever, the results go away over time. I don't know what it is. Like I stopped using the brow serum and all of a sudden my brows were starting to get a little lighter, a little bit more sparse. I can't explain it. It really doesn't make any scientific sense to me that it would, you know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, once I got back on it, all of a sudden my brows looked good again, my lashes. So just something to keep in mind. They're an expensive habit, but if you do it like a couple times a week, like every other day, I mean, you really notice a difference. It's kind of crazy. Are we going through a drugstore mascara renaissance right now? Because there's so many good ones. Like the number 7 full, what is it actually called? Full 360 Ultra is outstanding. Outstanding. Honestly, it looks similar to this. It's so good, and that was such a random discovery. The Falsies Lash Lift from Maybelline is so good. The e.l.f. Lash It Loud is so good. And if you are not into drier formulas, this is definitely a little bit of a wetter formula. You might like this better. Oh, I'm just so happy with the way that lashes look. That's incredible. So would totally recommend, especially if you like a wetter formula and if you want volume. Like that was fast, it's curled. Wow, man. All right, this next one is gonna be interesting. They were sold out of all of the colors that I think maybe would have complemented my skin tone a little bit better, but this is the ColourPop Cheek Dew. I don't know why I say that so weird. Cheek Dew. This is in the shade Bubbles. I think it's gonna be a little deep for me. We're gonna try to make it work. I ordered these a few weeks ago. I wonder if the other shades are in stock now. I don't know, I'll have to look. Because when they are, I do want to buy them because I've heard really good things and I love a liquid, cream, whatever you wanna call it, blush. Oh my gosh. I don't think it's supposed to look like that, hold on. So I'm just gonna kinda shake it and squish it. All right, I think I squirted out the weird stuff, but I do feel like I had to waste a lot. So I'm gonna literally spread it out pretty thin here. I think I'm gonna try it with my sponge because I think I'm gonna need to shear it out anyway. So I might as well give myself a little grace. I would definitely say with cream blushes, sponges are not always the way to go because if they're already gonna be sheared out a little bit, but look at that. That gave a really nice effect. So let me try it on the other side, maybe with my finger. See, that's way too much, but let me just try to blend it out. Oh, see, that blends out so quickly and easily. Man, I feel like I was in luck today. Like everything worked out. This is just incredible. Was it the last drugstore try on video? I try to do like one a month. I think last month's, it was like a lot of them were not hits. And I was saying in that video, I'm like, I promise, I feel like I usually love a lot of them. It was just that time, man, it just wasn't, nothing was right. I also love that it's like a little squeezy tube. So I really wanna get the other colors, but this looks so healthy and glowy. So quick check-in at the end of the night. The primer, I definitely feel like I had a nice glow to the skin without any highlighter at all. And I really hadn't realized it until I would like catch myself in the mirror later in the day. And I have pretty normal to dry skin. So I kind of take back what I said about how it's like kind of a low-key glowy primer because it really did stick around and it really did add a glow. The under eye corrector I like, but again, it's hard to tell by the end of the day because I did put on a concealer, but the eyeshadow stayed perfectly. However, if you use the glittery shades, there really is a lot of fallout as the day goes on. At some points, it's allergy season, was itching my eyes too. That probably added to it, but it is worth noting. If you hate glitter elsewhere on your face, you might not want to use the glittery, shimmery shades in those quads. The blush stayed all day, and it is hard to find a cream or especially like a liquid blush like that will stay so well. So that really impressed me. And I was wearing a mask for a few hours at the store as well. Mascara wise, again, I feel like it held a curl really, really well. I noticed like maybe a couple of flakes, but nothing that was like so much that I was like, oh my gosh, I'd never use again. Kind of the standard amount, like 1 or 2 flakes. But it didn't smudge or anything down there, and it really held up really nicely. So all in all, everything lasted pretty well. So I hope that this video was helpful, and let me know your thoughts on these products. Are there any other new drugstore launches that you are just loving or hating? Let me know down below. We can get a conversation going, and I'd love to say hey to you over on my Instagram. It is at It's Jessica Braun, and I also have a TikTok. I need to post a new video there. I also hope that you'll subscribe. I upload 3 videos a week, and I'd love to have you join our little family. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.